Hello there, yarn lovers, it's Gary and I'm coming to you from my happy place, the Yarn Corner here on the west coast of Canada. So welcome. Today is Saturday, May the 25th, 2024. How are you all doing? I hope you're well and staying safe. For those who are just happening across this channel for the very first time, I've set this channel up to talk about all of my yarny adventures. That's in knitting, crocheting. I do dabble in a little bit of yarn dyeing, as well as I talk about where I purchase my acquisitions from, my yarn and tools of my craft. So if that is of interest, please stick around. And for those returning, I want to say welcome back. I've really enjoyed the connections we've made in the comments of the last videos that I've been dropping, which was 8 days ago. I know it's been a while and I have missed everyone. So here I am with a little window of time, and I thought I'll jump in here quick to talk about one of my purchases that I made, and the invoice tells me it was April 16th of 2024. So the price points that I'm going to say to you might still be true. They might be on sale, so they might be cheaper. But Ice Yarns is a yarn store, online store that I purchased from, and they're situated over in Turkey. And yeah, so I'm going to also compare some of the yarns that I have purchased from this order, and maybe let everyone know of a substitute brand or some brands that are here in North America to save on the cost. Now, the colors might be different because it is Ice Yarn's take on a certain popular variety of brand that are in other collections, and they may not be exactly the same, but they're a good substitute, a good stand-in for a yarn that I think you can find here in North America easily. So before I get going, I always talk about what Hank is wearing and what I'm wearing. So Hank is wearing a knitted sweater vest that I am working on. It's been over a year. I just looked at my Instagram and saw me working on maybe the first 3 inches of this. And it has been in my sketchbook for about a year and 8 months. But when I looked on my Instagram, I had traced back that in April of last year or May of 2023, I had started this. So it's been in the works for over a year. I'm almost done. I've got to put the bands on it here. The shoulder bands. It's going to be a sweater vest with a hoodie. And I am going to be doing a little bit of surgery here on the neckline, and I will lower it a little bit and put a hood on it as well. So it is the same front and back with a pattern. I used a Celtic Knot pattern that I'll leave down below in the description box for this section here on the front and back. And then the rest was stitch work that I created on the fly. Well, it wasn't really on the fly. I kind of investigated how many stitches I had left to go around the front and back. And I decided to do elongated seed stitch, and I believe this wavy thing is called the honeycomb cable. So I did do a few of my own choices of stitch work for this particular sweater vest. So there's no pattern overall, but this Celtic Knot cable is one that I did use, and I'll link it down below in the description box. I am wearing a crocheted beanie from my friend Crystal over Bag a Day. It's called the Stitch Sampler, and I'll also include that tutorial down below in the description box. I absolutely love this beanie. It's like one of my favorite go-tos. And okay, so let's look at this April 16th 2024 purchase that I made from Ice Yarn, and I'll also talk about shipping towards the end. So it came in this outer shell FedEx bag. I've already opened it up and checked that everything was in the order. So inside of this FedEx shell, there was also another Ice Yarn packing bag that people are familiar with if they've watched Ice Yarn's unboxings or unbaggings. So they did have 2 protective layers, so it was packed very, very well. And I purchased only 2 styles of yarn, but I've got several colors in them. The first one was this one here, which is called Hand-Dyed Merino Extra Fine. I'll take it out of the bag. Sorry about the crinkle. I'm going to give you the number here on the bag for this particular yarn that I'm going to showcase right now. It's 176, and it's called Hand Dyed Merino Extra Fine. That's the bag it was in. This is one of my favorite yarns that I have recently discovered on Ice Yarns. It's a nice bouncy, full fingering weight yarn, and it comes in many colors. This, I would say, has a nice tonal quality to it, and this is a grayish color. I'm not sure whether it has a name. I don't think it does, but it's something like to me it looks like a iron silver gray. Really, really nice. Okay, my price points that I'm going to give you, I believe, are in Canadian currency, because you can choose what kind of currency that you want the Ice Yarn website to relay. And so because I'm in Canada, I chose the Canadian currency. I'm just looking over here to see how much the bag was for two, because you have to buy them in the bundles. So I'll reach over here and grab this so I can see it a bit closer. So the hand dyed Merino Extra Fine. Oh, it's called Forged Iron. So it does have a name, and it was for the pack of two, $20.67 Canadian. I thought that was a great value, and it's really squishy soft. You could wear this against your skin with no issues. And out of 5 being the softest on my scale of, I guess, rating, I would give this a 3.5 to 4, almost 4 in softness. There's no itch, there's no scratch to it, and it's got easy care instructions, so you can machine wash this, and I believe you can tumble dry. But you know what, I would suggest, if you were spending all that time using such a nice yarn like this, if you were to lay it flat, you'd keep the integrity of the shine as well as that nice twist. And it is a yarn that is fingering weight yarn. I like that. The twist on it is a medium twist, and it does have some spring to it. So when you're working with it, if you wanted to do something fancy with the stitch work, say it needs to stretch down, like stretch down the row below, and you're doing some type of slip stitching, I think this would be a great candidate for that. And also for if you're crocheting and you wanted to do something that goes back in on itself, I think this yarn would be a good candidate. Okay, so I have my handy magnifying glass, which was a gift sent to me by my friend Karen Miller. Thank you, Karen. I love this so much. It comes in handy. So I can read it now. It is saying it is a 2-weight sport yarn, and I'm seeing here 100% superwash extra fine merino wool. Suggested knitting needle size is 3 millimeters, no crochet hook, but I would suggest, you know, whatever project you're working on, and pair it with something similar, like maybe a 3.5 or a 4 millimeter crochet hook. The amount that you get, okay, 100 grams in each of the hanks, so I've got 200 in the pack, and 350 meters per hank. It says here plus or minus 5%, so that's kind of good to know that it's a rough estimate of 350 meters per hank, which I think translates to around 380 yards. So all up, I have around approximately 700 meters, or 770 yards, thereabouts. I really like the colors that they have in this collection, and a lot of them are very rich, deep colors. Not so many pastels or speckly yarns. They're very much tonal, and it's one of my new favorite yarns from Ice. So yeah, I thought that was a good value for, what did I say? It's $20.67 Canadian. So you'll have to convert that if you're in a different country using different currency. But yeah, love those. So I got another color, and this is how it came. Not so much manhandled as the previous ones, because I did you know, open that one and I wanted to get a good feel, and I had what I normally do when I get yarn is I play around with what colors could go with that color. So I move that forged iron colorway around a lot. So this one is more of a teal, and the number that you can see here, I can see here on the bag, it's 77189. The colorway name that they've given this one for, it's called Fanfare. Not really too sure what fanfare is. Maybe that is some type of carnival. Yeah, I absolutely love it. Again, it has kind of a tonal value with some heathered quality there, slightly sheen. Same specs, same value. $20.67 for the two. I have purchased this extra fine merino before from Ice. Now I'm going to move on to the next collection, which is one that I can suggest if you find it in, you can find it in North America or a substitute. It may not be exactly the same, but hang on, I'll get you the bag that I've opened. This one popped already. I got 4 colors of this variety. Excuse the crinkles. But this one popped in its little outer shell, but it was well protected. And this 2 bag of, I believe they call this one Puzzle Wool Worsted, and this one is the green shades, blue gray shades. So very interesting name, but look at that beautiful color there. Oh wow, this is probably, actually there so many of my favorites. They had many to choose from in this collection, and should you want the number for this particular one, it is 79929, just there. So a bag of 2 of these was $15.16 Canadian. So yeah, I absolutely love this one. It's really soft. Again, on my scale of 1 to 5, this one is probably a 3.5. So I can wear this against my skin with no issues of pinching or any of that wool fiber scratchiness. But then again, I'm not really adverse to having a scratchier yarn against my skin. And I think I could feel that there is a bit of wool in there just from touching it. And smelling it as well. You can smell a little bit of that wool, but oh, look at those colors. Amazing sweater in this one, but because I only have 2, I'd have to maybe combine it with some other of these colors. And I don't think it will go very well with what I'm going to show you coming up. But scarves would be great with this. It looks like it's a bulky 5, I'm going to guess. And let's take a look. So actually, it says it's a 4 weight. So that's a healthy 4. I'm going to say it's going to be more on a thicker side of things. There you go. You can be the judge of that. Yeah. It's a mild yarn, so that's when you get a couple of different colors in the strands, and it's twisted around to give that nice effect. Some people might think it's a bit busy, so your stitch work might get lost if you're doing something interesting like textural stitches, because it has that texture in it already with the high contrast. But I love it. It's like a cloud. So this one here, I told you the colorway. I'm going to get my magnifying glass and let's take a look at what the ball band says. It says it's a 4 weight, so worsted. I'm considering it more of an Aran. 35% wool, 65% acrylic, 200 grams in one of the balls, and it's saying here 320 meters. Yards, that might be around 350, 360 yards. And again, plus or minus 5%. So they're kind of covering themselves here. Yarn made in Turkey. I think most of the ice yarns are made in Turkey because that's the mills there. You can machine wash this. Do not triangle and do not iron. So I would suggest maybe just to be on the safe side, because it has that wool in there, perhaps to lay flat to dry. You can machine wash on gentle and lay flat to dry. I wouldn't like it to start peeling on the first wash, so because it does have a little halo, maybe to keep the integrity of the wool from clumping up and peeling, that you know, gentle wash, and then a lay flat would be the best way to get some longevity out of your makes with this. So that was one. I told you the price, right? $15.16 for the two pack. Thing about ice is when you purchase them, you can't break up if they're a 2-pack. You got to get it as is. So they can range anywhere from packs of 2 all the way up to packs of 8 and 10. And unfortunately, that's the way that you have to purchase the bundles. So again, different color. You can tell me which one you like too in the comment section of the box down below. So this one here, I think this is more browns and teals I'm seeing. Let's see if the name of this gives something away. Brown shade turquoise. Brown shades turquoise. I absolutely love it. Well, there is some of that turquoise in the other one that I just showed you too. So I've got 2 of those. If you want the number, it's 79919 for the brown turquoise. Really good. Okay, second last one. Check out this color. Oh my goodness. Wow. Holy. Look at that. Okay, I'm going to guess what one this one is. Could this one be the... Okay, burgundy, purple, shades, gold, copper. Could this be my new favorite from the first one? Oh my goodness, look at that. That's beautiful. I'll show you them all together at the end so that you can make a choice on which one you like best. Oh, did I give you the number of this one? It is 79933. And my last one that I got is this one here. This one's got purple in it. Or maybe this one's the purple one. Okay, this one might be the other one. This one might be burgundy, purple shades, gold, copper. So I might have gotten those around the wrong way. This one here has orange shades, green, purple, black. No, that doesn't have any black in it. Oh, the numbers help me. Yes, this one is the 79933 variety, and it is orange shades, green, purple, black. Although I don't see the black in it. I'm not sure. That was my mistake. Sorry about that. So this one was the 79933. And the one that I just opened, the purpley one, let's take a look at that number. It's 79924. And that one is burgundy purple, shades gold copper. Oh my goodness. That is amazing. The things that are going through my mind to make with this, I can see myself getting more of it because I wanted to just try out some colors. It was hard for me to choose my combinations, but this one isn't so high contrasty. So you might get a bit more fun with this coming out with a special stitch, you know, something textural if you wanted to use it, because it's not that high contrasty as some of them here. So this is my loot all together, and you can tell me which color you like the best. So those were the 2 last ones that I just showed, and then moving along, that's the brown and this turquoisey blue green one. What do you think? Which one Which one's your favorite? That could be a thumbnail, actually. I love them all. I'm gonna say if you wanted to be more adventurous with your stitch work, maybe the purple one and the brown one might be the more subdued to do some fun stitch work. Whereas this orangey one here and the turquoise has a little bit more high contrast in it. So they might both be a little harder to read if you do something fancy with your stitches. But yeah, oh my goodness, so beautiful. Now, because I'm going to talk a little bit of shipping, and then I'll show you a dupe that, not a dupe, but like a substitute yarn that I feel might work well if you wanted to try out some styles like this, but didn't want to shop at Ice Yarns because of, you know, the expense of the shipping that they have. So I'm seeing here on my invoice that the express shipping option, that was what I think it might have been the only option for me to choose, was $45.45 Canadian. It did take around 2 weeks to get to me, and because it went FedEx, what FedEx did, because this is another pet peeve of mine, when companies choose to use a third-party courier service shipper like FedEx, UPS, what else would there be? DHL. There's a good chance, because it comes into the foreign country, there needs to be some accountability there for a fee if you go third party. So I was dinged with a ROD, which is what FedEx termed it, of having to pay an extra 24 Canadian dollars for them to complete the journey from customs and bring it to me. Now, some of that might have been customs taxes, which is fine. I'm happy to pay for that. But then there's always the ROD fee that they add in, and it's, you know, the shipping and handling, the brokerage fee, and sometimes it's to the tune of, it can be quite expensive. I've paid up to before $30 just for the FedEx and third-party cost. Because this is yarn that I wanted to try out and compare, I wanted to get the yarn in hand, so I was happy to pay the, well, I wasn't happy, but I tolerated the fee to get the yarn. Now, this is something that you don't know until you've purchased the order, paid for the shipping on ICE's website, and for that matter of fact, any other website. And if you know that it's coming third-party courier service, then there's a good chance that you'll get a bill later down the way that you're not entirely sure how much it will be. So I urge companies that could be watching this, if they have the chance to go public service postal service like the post office, then they choose that as an option for us consumers and customers to pick. That way you know up front how much you're going to be needing to pay for the actual yarn to get to in your hands. Granted that some of it might be a slight fee for the taxes on whatever country it comes into, but then you avoid those other charges that could be up to $30, like how I experienced it a few times. So FedEx did send me a bill when they delivered it to me. They actually held it before they delivered it until I had paid this fee that they had, and it was $24 Canadian. So that's just a little tip there. So I am going to compare now some of the yarns that you might find in North America already, ready at hand, that you could use in replacement of this Ice Yarns wool. What was it called? It was called Puzzle Wool Worsted. Oh, I didn't give you the content of the yarn. I'm so sorry about that. No, I did. It's 35 wool and 65 acrylic. Okay, so this is the ice one, and I found this at Joanne, and it's similar. It's not exactly the same, but it uses very similar colors. The ice yarn one itself looks a little bit more shinier to me. It looks a bit more like a neater yarn than the Big Twist, and this Big Twist one is called Carousel. The Carousel is 100% acrylic, I believe. I'll just take a look. This colorway is called Oasis, and I'm not seeing any fiber content here. Okay, 100% acrylic, premium acrylic it says. So that could be a substitute for if you wanted to try a yarn that's like this in a store that's in North America. So that's one option. Another option I have here is, that's the same. This one, not exactly the same, but it is sort of like a marl type as well. And this one is from Loops and Threads. That's a Michaels brand. This one is called Carousel as well. It's like the Big Twist. And where's my, as you can tell, not exactly the same. So the Carousel from Loops and Thread is a acrylic yarn. And the colorway that you're seeing is called Jeans Shorts. And they're classifying this one as a 5 bulky, whereas this one was classified as a 4, but I think they're the same type of weight. Let's take a look. Can you see that? Maybe a tad bigger on the Loops and Threads, which is the one, the lighter color one here. But slightly comparable, yep. And the last one that I have that's in North America, that could be a substitute or a stand-in, would be this one here, which is Beanie, and it's called Wavelength. And do I have that purple one again? Let's take a look at that purple one. No, different purple. But kind of similar. No, different color altogether. And this colorway is called Tanzanite. Should you need the... Oh, is it the right way? There we go. And this one is also a 100% acrylic. So there are some options that you could try out if you are shopping on the American continent, North American continent. And I'm going to say, I really am loving the feel of this yarn. I love the slight sheen that it has and the wonderful color choices that are available on their website for this yarn. Absolutely love it. Yeah, so that concludes the ice yarn haul that I have to share with you, the shipping, and also that extra payment that FedEx needed at the delivery end here in Canada. I want to hear what your favorite color was in any of the things that I've shown you, and if you've used this yarn before, what you have made with it. With that, I will catch you up in the next one, and I am super excited about tomorrow. I have a yarn festival, very small. It's like in a community center here on the island, Vancouver Island, and it will be running tomorrow from 9:30 till 3 p.m. on Sunday, May 26, 2024. So I'm heading to a place called the Bradley Center in Coombs, and the festival is called Fleece and Fiber Festival. There's probably going to be around 20 vendors there, and I've checked the vendors that are going. Some of them are wood carvers or project bag makers. There are a couple of fashion accessory goods that you can purchase as well, already made up. One of my favorite local yarn production people, or a yarn workshop that's here, is called Small Bird, and they will be there as well. I've purchased some of their yarn in a festival that was last summer, and I can't wait to see what they have on offer for this round. So if you're on the island and you're going to go to Coombs to the Fibre Festival tomorrow. I'll see you there. Come up and say hi. I'd love to meet you, and I'm probably going to be there, bright and early, just for about an hour. I'm thinking maybe around 10 to maybe 12. I'll be at the festival looking around, looking at the wares. So with that, I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.